friends, it's Nora from Casual MTG Decks, the place for fun and flavorful casual Magic the Gathering decks. Today we are going full Trash Panda mode. That's right, it's Raccoon time. Now, our raccoons have a plan, and it involves mana-fueled madness. That's right, behind those grabby little hands and twitchy little noses, there lies a game plan to ramp hard and go big. So Bram, let's open the trash can of possibilities, and let's see what these furry mana engines can do.
And we start our Raccoon deck with this legendary Raccoon Muera Trash Tactician. He just loves generating mana. At the beginning of your first main phase, add a red or a green mana for each raccoon you control. And he also has 2 expand abilities. But maybe we have to explain that first, Nora.
Sure thing. Expand is a keyword ability that triggers when you spend the amount of mana to cast a spell in a turn, similar to the amount of expend. So when the card has expand 4, when you spend your 4th or more mana to cast spells this turn, it triggers. It also doesn't matter how many different spells you play. If you play 4 spells for 1 mana, the expand ability will trigger when you spend your 4th mana for that last spell. Important, you need to use mana to cast spells. So activating mana abilities don't count.
So when the Trash Tactician expands 4, you gain 3 life, and when he expands 8, exile the 2 top cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. Another mana generating creature is this Bramble Familiar. You can send him on an adventure with Fetch Quest, and then you mill 7 cards and put a creature, enchantment or land card from among them immediately on the battlefield. So we play 3 copies of this mana producing raccoon, and in the late game we can discard a card to return it to our hand to play Fetch Quest. Next up, this Wandertail Mentor. He has expand 4, and then you put a +1/+1 counter on it, and he also generates mana. And then one more mana producing raccoon, this Trail Tracker Scout, creates mana of any color, and when you expand 8, you can return a permanent from your graveyard to your hand.
Hey, you know who also likes digging in the trash? Raga Draga.
Absolutely true. This is not a raccoon, it's a human boar, but it works great in our deck. Each creature you control with a mana ability gets +2/+2. Whenever a mana generating creature attacks, you may untap it, and whenever you cast a spell, if at least 7 mana was spent, untap target creature, it gets +7/+7 and trample until end of turn. Now back to the raccoons. Bark-Knuckle Boxer is a 3/2, so an aggressive 2-drop that when you expand 4 it gains indestructible. The Brazen Collector is a first striking 2/1 raccoon that when it attacks you add a red mana. And the Raccoon Rallier can give another creature haste until end of turn. Keen-Eyed Curator is a 3/3 for 2 mana, so that's already great. It even can become a 7/7 with trample, and it can exile cards from a graveyard. Scrapshooter is our powerful 4/4 for 3 mana that has reach, and it can deal with artifacts or enchantments. The Byway Barterer is a 3/3 for 3 mana, and when you expand 4 you may discard your hand and draw 2 cards. Next up, a raccoon powering Brambleguard Veteran. Whenever you expand 4 raccoons you control, get +1/+1 and gain vigilance. Expanding 4 is really big team in the deck. Maybe also when I expand 4 you can get me a pizza, Nora. Or maybe I should ask this Roughshod Duo. Trampling Raccoon Mouse, whenever you expand 4, target creature you control gets +1/+1 and trample until end of turn.
Props to all the raccoons for having perfect makeup and eyeliner.
Indeed, Nora, and so does this Teapot Slinger, a 3/4 with menace, and when you expand 4 it deals 2 damage to each opponent. So about the pizza. No pizza.
Nope.
So another hungry raccoon is this Junkblade Bruiser. It has trample, it's a 4/5, and when you expend 4, it gains +2/+1 until end of turn. Talking about these raccoons really gets me hungry.
Maybe we can continue the deck now?
Okay, let's continue with removal. Mizzium Mortars deals 4 damage to target creature you don't control, and for 6 mana it deals 4 damage to each creature you don't control.
These overload spells also work great with Expand.
Our next card is a little bit more tribal focused. This enchantment has you put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control each turn, or if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, you can create a 3/3 green raccoon creature. More raccoon flavored art in this Peerless Recycling. It's a great recursion spell that can get you a permanent or even 2 target permanence cards from your graveyard to your hand. But if you want to do the last thing, then you have to give your opponent a card.
Welcome to the recycling park.
It really looks like it, Nora, because next we're gonna take out the trash, an instant that deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. And if we control a raccoon, we may discard a card to draw a card.
Okay, we have had cute raccoons. Now it's time to learn about the big payoff spells.
Creatures with X in their mana cost are great for our deck because they help with expand, and this one is really powerful. It enters with X +1/+1 counters on it, and when X is 5 or more, you draw a card when it enters. And when it enters, it also fights up to 1 other target creature an opponent controls. And if that creature would die, you would exile it instead of putting it in its opponent's graveyard. Another big one to ramp into is Kamal, Heart of Kroza, a 5/5 for 8 mana, and at the beginning of combat, during your turn, creatures you control get +3/+3 and trample until end of turn. You may also use it to turn lands into elemental creatures with vigilance, haste, and indestructible.
Ooh, I just love big spells.
Then you will love the Crater Hoof Behemoth, 8 mana, 5/5 haste, and when it enters, creatures you control gain trample and +X/+X until the end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. But there's more. We can also win by just dealing X damage to our opponent's face, because when X is 5 or more, this spell can't be countered and the damage can't be prevented. Ideal for our deck. A similar card is this Clan Defiance. It can deal with creatures, flying or non-flying, or with players or planeswalkers.
Wait, I also know a janky cool big spell. Can we include it?
Okay.
Imagine killing your opponent with preposterous big raccoons. How funny is that?
Okay, for the memes, this card gets 10 out of 10 and it gives all your creatures +10/+10 as well as vigilance until end of turn.
We will also include 2 planeswalkers in this deck. And if you want to see more of me, you can also subscribe to this channel. Now, onto the planeswalkers. Planeswalkers, Bram?
If you like a lot of creatures in your deck, you have to play Vivian Reed. Its plus ability has you search for creatures or lands. Its minus ability destroys artifacts, enchantments, or flying creatures, and you can even boost your whole team with its ultimate ability. We will also expand 4 with Minsk and Boo, Timeless Hero. This one creates a hamster. It puts counters on a target creature and gives it trample and haste. And for its minus ability, we can sacrifice a creature. When we do, it deals X damage to any target where X is that creature's power. If the sacrificed creature was a hamster, we draw X cards.
Ah! Kill, says Boo! Kill does Minsk!
Yeah, and okay, we mainly play it because it's Minsk and Boo. This badger looks a little bit like a raccoon. It's a 5/5 trampler, and when you play it, you pay X, and X is the number of cards you will exile from the top of your library. You may play those cards until the end of your next turn, and you can also play an additional land on each of your turns. This Primordial Sage has you draw a card each time you cast a creature spell, and Harmonize draws you 3 cards as a sorcery. And our last spell in the deck also gives us card advantage, Escape to the Wilds. For the basic lands we play 6 forests and 4 mountains, 1 copy of Oak Hollow Village and 1 copy of the Rockface Village are great for our raccoons. 2 more lands to put all our mana in. One of them is called Lair of the Hydra, the other one is called Keswick Wolf Run. We play some more duels, like 2 copies of Temple of Abandon. We also play 3 copies of Root-Bound Crag and a copy of Cinderglade, together with 3 copies of Sheltered Ticket.
So this was our fun raccoon deck. If you want more videos like this, check out our channel. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. But most importantly, always keep it casual. See you next time!